Yo, what is up, guys? It's Cone back here again today with another video. The NBA season has just wrapped up, and what that means is it's time to kind of reflect and look back on the season, and I thought what better way to do that than look at people's worst takes from this season. So I tweeted this out yesterday, and you guys blew this up, 763 likes and over 200 comments, so I'm sorry. We won't get to everything in here, but I'm going to do my best to get through as many as possible. So I tweeted out yesterday, now that the NBA season is over, drop me the worst takes from this season. So I wanted takes from people themselves, from like other people, from analysts, from talking heads on TV, whatever they wanted. I wanted people to give me the worst takes from the season so we can look back and kind of see how it's really hard to predict the NBA. I thought this would be a fun way to kind of just look back on the season as a whole. So I appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. Even though it's the off season, if you still love basketball like I do, videos are going to keep coming out, so you don't want to miss out on those. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. So also, while we're at it, drop your worst take or an awful take that you saw this season in the comment section below before the video starts, and maybe you'll see it in this video. So, we're going to start off with Easton here. He put one of his own takes where he said, I believe this is about Giannis, and he said, he's an elite defender and athlete, but he's average on offense, and he's only average because he can just dunk and lay up on people. He's not a top 5 player. Shout out to Easton for admitting that he was wrong, because Giannis is absolutely a top 5 player, not even a debate at this point. So good for him to find his mistakes. All at the end of the video, mentioned some of my worst takes too. So I'm not just looking at other people. This one is when Knicks fans, after winning Game 2 against the Hawks, chanted, "We want Brooklyn," and that series did not go the way they wanted to. They unfortunately did not get Brooklyn. So I get it. They were hype, but yeah, probably going for Brooklyn after a Game 2 win was a little bit early. This is the worst one by far. Giannis is just Clint Capella with a Euro step if you think about it. Yeah, this was from June 19th as well. Shout out my guy Matt. Matt's cool, but yeah, not a great take. My guy Prez said he's never had a bad take in his life, so I decided to remind him of, if it'll load, this take that he had a while back that says the Knicks should select Emmanuel Mudiay, trade Joel Embiid in the Lakers pick, and then we'll have Nerlens Noel, Jahlil Okafor, Emmanuel Mudiay, 3 All-Stars. So thought I would remind him, not from this season, but, you know, he needed to be humbled. The fact that Jrue Holiday is even comparable to Eric Bledsoe. Now, offensively, Jrue struggled hard in these playoffs, but he was far better defensively, and he made up for it in such big ways. We shouldn't trade Ben Simmons for James Harden. Yeah, the Sixers should have. I mean, I don't think that anyone other than Brooklyn in the end was going to get James Harden. The Rockets owner wasn't going to send James Harden back to Daryl Morey, and ultimately Brooklyn just, I guess, had what they wanted. Jokic is the worst MVP in 35 years. Yeah, that's dumb. Steph will be exposed. This was one big at the beginning of the season, is people were all like, Steph doesn't have Clay, he doesn't have KD anymore, Steph is going to be exposed as a fraud, and he proved that he is one of, if not the best player in the entire NBA this season. MVP level candidate despite not making the playoffs, which was not his fault at all. He was electric all season. Excited to see him with a better supporting cast next year. I take Colin Sexton over Trae Young. Yeah, I don't know about that one. People were saying that the Raptors might miss the playoffs, which is ridiculous. Not too crazy. Worst take would be like Duncan is better than Clay. Yeah, there was a period of time where people were tweeting about how Duncan was better than Klay Thompson in terms of shooting, which just isn't true. Part of that shooting thing is having that longevity. Duncan is incredible, and he's going to rightfully get a bag this offseason. But you've got to factor in longevity. You can't just say, like, one guy hits more threes than another guy in a season, and you can't just say he's a better shooter. You could say he maybe had a better shooting season, but the longevity is part of it. Tim Duncan is just a basketball player because he can't tween, dribble, hezzy, fake spin. Yeah, if you don't know, there was a debate on Twitter the other day about which players are basketball players and which guys are hoopers. It was dumb. I won't get into it more. Anyone saying this ring doesn't count? Yeah, the whole rings don't count argument's dumb. Every ring counts. As much as people want to try and discredit, every ring counts. People are saying that Steph was regressing. Yep. Let's see. Bad take. Kyle Lowry isn't a Hall of Famer. I disagree. Stephen A saying he would trade AD to get Dame. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, AD helps the Lakers significantly. Yeah, I think for the Lakers, I think AD fits better. Dame and AD are very close as players. They're right around the same ranking if I had to rank the guys. But I think for right now, I would take AD on that Lakers team just because he's the anchor of their defense. And if they took that away and added Damian Lillard, who isn't a great defender himself, I'm not sure how they really get stops. Giannis couldn't be the number one option on a championship team. This is the big one. This is the one I was waiting for. This was everywhere, especially after last year. Everyone was saying, oh, Giannis can't be the number one option on a championship team. Giannis is a Batman, or is a Robin, he needs a Batman. He's a Scottie Pippen, not a Michael Jordan. So glad Giannis proved all those takes wrong because they were very stupid. The Bucks are a super team, not even close. The Giannis just runs and dunks thing was stupid. Donovan Mitchell is greater than Zion. I won't get into player rankings too much. They're both great. The Bucks gave up too much for Holiday. They gave up a lot, but if you get a championship, it doesn't matter what you gave up. For example, if the Clippers don't win a championship, then yeah, they lost the trade going for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard from the Thunder. But if they win a championship, no matter what trade you make, if you win a championship, which is the ultimate goal, you were a winner in your trade. Trae Young is the best point guard behind Steph. Nope. Luka better than Steph? No. Wall is better. Yeah, there was a period where Rockets fans were like, oh my God, we got a better player in John Wall than Westbrook and a pick. So Rockets fans were kind of on cloud nine for that. Yeah, I like John Wall and everything, but he's not Russell Westbrook. Yeah, here's this one. This is going to go away. Middleton is Batman, Giannis is Robin. No. The Knicks will be trash. Yeah, so this was one of my takes. I said the Knicks were going to be the 14 seed in the Eastern Conference, and I was completely wrong because they were 10 seeds higher than that. I apologize, Knicks fans. I've acknowledged I was wrong about this. You're welcome. The Lonzo Ball over Trae Young train. Yeah, there was a tweet earlier in the season. I think it was from like Hoops Central or something like that, where it was like, who would you take, Alonzo or Trae Young? And it was like a genuine debate people were having. It's Trae Young. The Heat shouldn't trade Tyler Hero for James Harden. They should have, but I really don't think he was going anywhere but Brooklyn at the end. I don't think it's the Heat's fault. People were slandering Trae Young at the beginning of the season because of the way he played. Yeah, that was winning kind of cures all biases against players. It seems like as soon as Trae Young started winning, people stopped caring about the thing where he drew fouls by like baiting defenders, which is going to get changed this offseason, which is cool. People really just stopped caring, and that's really just because they started winning. Winning fixes everything. Let's see. Whichever team comes out of the West to play the Hawks in the finals, I hope they show up for game one. Yeah, I mean, the Hawks made the Eastern Conference Finals. Not a terrible take, but obviously they weren't better than the Bucks. Not a bad take, but Lou Dort will eventually be the best two-way player in the league. I'll take it. Giannis has no skill. We've been through that. The Hawks would suck. Yeah, another thing. They were much better than people gave them credit for, especially on the defensive end of the ball. I had to take at the beginning of the season that LaMelo will seriously struggle because of how poor he shot in the NBL. Yeah, LaMelo's. This is one thing I got right personally. I might make a video about the best takes from the season. I was a huge LaMelo believer. I was saying all draft process that LaMelo was my number one guy. I liked his game a lot, and it's cool to see that I was right about that. Kevin Porter Jr. better than Shea and Ja because of his career high. Please don't judge players based on career high. If you judge them based on career high, then like Devin Booker is better than LeBron James. That's just not how it works. Cam Johnson would be better than Draymond this year. Little off. My dad said that Giannis wasn't a superstar. Wrong. And that the Heat would win the first round. Also a little wrong. Thunder had a chance of making the playoffs if they were fully healthy. I mean, they were like kind of play-in range when Shea wasn't hurt, when Horford was playing. Like kind of close. Probably wouldn't have made the playoffs. But, you know, not awful take, I guess. Wizards could have taken the Nets to 7. Okay. Wizards fan, Lakers fan tried to propose a straight-up Beal for Kuzma trade. I'm not going to read any more of that because that's terrible. The Knicks are getting Cade and will be the 13th seed. Yeah, see, I thought the 14th seed, so a little bit different from that. Russ is washed. Yeah, not at all. Not even close. Well, he's not quite the player he was a couple years ago, but he's still very, very good. Don't trade Ben Simmons. I was also on the don't trade Ben Simmons train, and now it kind of looks like it has to happen. Steven Jackson's, yeah, Giannis is on a super team. Not even close. I don't think he knows what a super team means. Jazz will be the 8th seed or either miss the playoffs. This was a big one. A lot of people were saying, because the West looked stacked. It was like Lakers, Clippers, Suns made big additions. You had the Nuggets, the Rockets if they didn't trade James Harden. The Grizzlies, the Warriors. You had so many teams that were fighting to make the playoffs, and so many people were like, "Who doesn't make it?" And a lot of people said the Jazz. They said the Jazz would be like the 8th seed, or they'll end up falling out. Didn't end up happening because they got the 1 seed. But yeah, this was definitely one. Let's see. Troy Dan said that Giannis has announced that he will not be contending for a ring for the next 5 years. I'm guessing this is when he signed his extension. So he wasn't contending for a ring for about all of 10 minutes until the regular season started. And yeah, I think we're kind of coming to the end here. Saw someone say that Norman Powell is better than Donovan Mitchell. I saw that too. I'm sorry you had to see that. Colin Cowherd ranked the 10 best players remaining in the playoffs. This was the second round. He had Giannis isn't on this list, but he had KD, Kawhi, Chris Paul, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Kyrie Irving, Nikola Jokic, Trae Young, Devin Booker, and this is very disrespectful to Joel Embiid as well. Yeah, not a good list at all. Not a good list. Ben Simmons will wash the Bucks and Nets in the playoffs. Didn't quite get there. Let's see. Giannis has no skill. Middleton is greater than Butler in the CP3 MVP argument. Yeah, the CP3 MVP thing, I think, was just kind of the media looking to make it interesting. Jokic was the whole time the MVP. Chris Paul was phenomenal this season, so I understand why he was in a little bit of consideration for, like maybe he could have been, like, a candidate for the award. But the fact that people were trying to say that he was the MVP over Nikola Jokic was kind of crazy, because Jokic had that thing locked up by the time that the Chris Paul argument started. I love Chris Paul. You know that I'm a big fan of his. But yeah, it was Jokic's MVP award. If Bucks win this series, how many votes does Chris Middleton get for Finals MVP? Yeah, 0. Sixers had a Mickey Mouse path to the Eastern Conference, or to the conference finals. Yeah, I thought the Sixers were going to be the Hawks at 5. Little off, a little off there. Let's see. Devin Booker's the next Kobe. I think more so it's that Devin Booker has a similar play style to Kobe. He's got that mid-range game. He like just goes at defenders no matter what. A lot of turnaround jumpers. He's a really good player, and his game looks a lot like Kobe's game. He's not the next Kobe in terms of like winning and stuff like that, but in terms of the way he plays, I could see it. Owen Cohn, can I also get a follow back? Do I follow you? Here you go. I'll follow you right now. Chris Paul doesn't make the Suns a playoff team. This was one I saw a lot. I was saying they should trade for Chris Paul all season. That was probably my best take, was that the Suns should trade for Chris Paul before there was even rumors that it was going to happen. This was something that I saw, and lo and behold, it happened, and I was like, all right, this is huge for them. And so many people were like, why are they doing this? Like, they still won't make the playoffs, and we saw what happened. All right, so I think we're almost to the end. I said THT would win MIP. Little off. Yeah, here's Richard Jefferson saying Giannis might be a Pippen. He needs his Jordan. Once again, off. We'll find like a couple more. Ayton is a better center than Bam Adebayo. Yeah, that's not true. And we'll end off this one because this is the worst take. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doesn't fit the timeline of the Thunder's rebuild. That's very dumb, and if you believe that, you're entirely wrong. So those are the worst takes according to you guys from this NBA season. Let me know what your worst take was, or a awful take that you saw over the course of this season. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Let me know if you like videos like this where I do like the Twitter reactions. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching. I will see you guys later.